Blimey! Here I am again at Speaker's Corner. That's my appearance here. I actually break the sound barrier. That's what me getting here breaks the sound barrier. That's what you hear, a sonic boom.
Yeah.
And that's my appearance. Wow, I didn't know how quick even I am. Thank you, Scotty from Star Trek Enterprise, for getting me here.
Yeah.
So here we are again, two in the same day of Who is Speaker's Corner. I have another wonderful gentleman here with us who I've known for many years now.
Yeah, like about 2 years now.
About 2 years now. So this is Who is Speaker's Corner. And as I was just saying a moment ago to our guest here, is that this is trying to show what the trees are in the forest, because a forest can be intimidating, scary, and so here we are trying to describe a variety of trees. So when we do come to Speaker's Corner, we know who we can gravitate to, understand where they're coming from, and how we can start with a conversation. So on that note,
I would call myself a cherry tree.
It's a cherry tree.
I'd call myself a cherry tree. Yeah.
So it's descendant from Aints.
Yeah.
From Lord of the Rings reference there. So can you please introduce yourself?
I am Markie. I am a cognitive hypnotherapist.
Woo!
Yeah, so I help people get rid of their limiting beliefs and become the ultimate expression of what they can actually be.
Oh my humanity.
Yeah.
That is extraordinary. Can you expand on that a little bit? Actually, yes, expand on that.
So our brains, they pick up on 11 million bits of information, and then we get that filtered down to about 2 to 3 bits of information. So we actually process. So there's a lot of things that we miss out on, and there's a lot of things that we get fixated on. And my job is to try and get you out of the things that you're fixated on and pick up on the other details that you might have missed.
Wow, that's remarkable. I don't want to go into too much details about the current date, who you are today, because this channel is about who you are. So can you describe a little bit about your childhood and what your experiences were relative to who you are today? So that's the link.
All right, so my father, who's passed away now, he was a criminal, and I grew up with him going in and out of prison. And my mother, she's an amazing woman, still alive. She was a fashion designer, but also a drug addict, addicted to speed and cocaine. So that's sort of like where I realised that life growing up was a little bit unfair, but I'd never thought that I was a victim of my situation. I've always thought of what can I do to make my situation better, and I suppose, when I was about 17, I used to go outside bank, like the monument, and I was doing shamanic drumming because I thought I wanted to put out good vibrations in a place which might not have had any good vibrations. So it was that whole thing of be the change that you wanted to see in the world. And it was only when my father passed away that I noticed that I was getting quite a few videos of Speaker's Corner on my YouTube algorithm. So I was like, this place looks interesting. I'll go check it out. And we have to remember that Speaker's Corner, it used to have the greats here. We used to have Marcus Garvey, Christabel Pankhurst, some real predominant Karl Marx.
Big difference.
Yeah, big difference. Yeah. We used to have some people here that really sort of made a difference to the world, whether it be for the good or for the worse. But the fact is that we had people here making change to the world and sort of changing narratives. And when I came here, I realised that there was a lot of religious debates going on, and not necessarily about how we can make our society and world better as a whole, together, regardless of your beliefs, just get us to a point at which we're all sort of happy and satisfied. We can't, people's definition of heaven is all very different and subjective. But how can we make this, the land that we're walking upon, better? And that's kind of why I come here and have those discussions, because I get a bit frustrated with the damnation and the fear-mongering. So it's just all about, well, what is that about? Those are the questions I ask. What is your intention of fear-mongering? Where is that going to get us? In this life, it doesn't really get us anywhere.
Listen, you're answering a lot of questions I was about to ask it all in one go. So let's just go back a bit to when you were younger.
Yeah.
And the experiencing of addiction.
Yeah.
And would it be fair for me to say that you have a profound view of addiction? And
yeah, well, I help people stop being. Now I help people get out of their addiction. You know, so it's like because they say that addiction stems from you not getting enough praise when you're a child. So therefore, your brain is seeking out that dopamine release that you would get when you get praise as a child. So there's something missing there in your brain. So I help people reconsolidate those memories of being like, no, you praise yourself, you know. So it helps. It helps. It can help. I'm not a snake oil salesman. I don't say that it's gonna work, but it's all about the patient or client's full engagement and my full engagement to get us their goal, which is not taking drugs anymore.
Yeah, and I would imagine you'd see that addiction isn't the fault of an individual.
No, it's the fault of society. We as a society have failed that person.
And I think, would you like to see society more understanding of that statement?
Yeah.
And how would that change the world around us?
Well, I suppose it just goes down to being a bit empathetic, doesn't it? Like understanding that this could happen to anyone. You know, anyone could hit rock bottom, and it's all about, you know, there's enough of us to get that person out of rock bottom. You know, and as long as that person has an essence of gratitude, then your energy is not going to be ill spent. You know.
So, can I just first say how beautiful that is,
Yeah.
and what you give to society?
Thanks.
You are an incredible gift to society. I mean, this because addiction. I didn't know this conversation was going to go down this road, by the way. But we just I have to divert slightly. Yeah. Addiction is serious. It's real, but it's not the individual's fault.
Never.
But it is, as an individual, we can seek help to transcend the horror that's been you're experiencing.
Yeah.
And please do that, because your life is beautiful, unique.
Exactly.
And the people like this here who will be able to advise you, help you, and others as well to grow out of the addiction, because addiction is, the brain is
it's a complex thing.
It's a complex wetware, and we are, as evolution, designed to become obsessed with things. But it doesn't mean we can't overcome our programming, and with help of wonderful human beings like this, we can ascend from that. So you just now go back to so you were saying, normally my question would be at this point is, how did you come across Speaker's Corner?
Yeah.
So could you just give a little bit more on that and what? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So my father passed away. I was really disheartened by that. He was only 55 when he passed away, and we was really close. And we used to have debates about stuff, because obviously he comes from where he comes from, being in and out of prison, and like a lot of discourse there, and I suppose sort of conditioning of where we come from. I'm a Romany Gypsy. We come from Roman Gypsies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we've got 250 years of heritage being in London. We are like one of the first immigrants, you know, like so.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on what that actually means?
What that actually means?
Yeah, my view as well.
So, 250 years ago, there was around 18 Romany Gypsy families that came to West London and built it to what it is now. Yeah. My great grandfather, he built all of Latimer Road, and it was during World War II that they took the properties away from them to give to the Windrush generation. But when the war was over, they didn't give the properties back. So the Romany Gypsies was left in a disarray, you know. So before, Romany Gypsies, they were considered tinkerers, you know, people that could fix things, you know, like horse traders. There was a good trade for the Romanis, but now there's not really. There's a discourse of saying like they're thieves, they're wrong-uns, and that's not the case.
So, I mean, what is the definition of a gypsy? Are you nomadic? Nomadic?
Well, no,
traveling, or
I wouldn't say.
Or do you have a religion? And
I would say the majority of Romany Gypsies are quite pantheistic, but have a Christian indoctrination because of the country that we live in, you know? So it's that whole thing of God is within us all, but because we live in this country, we also abide by Christian indoctrination, you know? So it's, yeah, I went to a C of E school. And
Was it comprehensive?
no, it was just, what was it? It was just, I don't even know what comprehensive means.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
So your father passed away. You started seeing things on. So what was it that you identified would be helpful to you at Speaker's Corner?
Well, it's also a good place to sort of like really define your beliefs, and you know, I don't come here claiming that I have all of the answers. I come here wanting to learn, you know, and it's the problem with Speaker's Corner is that there's a lot of students that claim to be teachers, and where's their teachers? You know, who are the people that are pulling them up?
That's beautiful sentiment, by the way. Statement, sorry.
Yeah, so it's like, so I come here with open eyes and fresh ears, wanting to learn things. You know, so I come away and I come back home, and my girlfriend would say, "Oh, what did you hear?" And I was like, "Oh, this, that, and this madness happened," and I have a great time here. You know, it's a good place to sort of like vent your frustrations of the world, you know?
Yeah.
And also learn things about the world which you can appreciate, and appreciate your fellow man, you know, like, and sister. Like,
so as we look around us now,
yeah,
as you can see behind our shoulders,
yeah,
Speakers people are engaged in civil debate. Yes, we can get passionate here, but this, I believe, and this is what the question will be, do you think this is to the betterment of humanity?
Yeah, and that's the thing, like Speaker's Corner, we used to have, there used to be over 180 Speaker's Corners all over England. And now we've only got one, yeah? Which I think is a crime against humanity itself, because
yes,
every area, every park should have a Speaker's Corner. Because why? That will allow small societies and small communities to actually be able to delegate, and actually tell us, to delegate and actually decide what is actually going on within our small communities. You know, so therefore, we wouldn't have these. We wouldn't, like, if there was these small communities actually talking about what the politicians are doing and what they're getting away with. These small communities would actually be able to come together. You know, little bubbles of Speaker's Corner could come together and actually make a change.
I think what you said there is, I think, the very bedrock of democracy.
Yeah.
And therefore, if you take away places like this, should we start asking, do we live in a democracy?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's not a democracy, is it? You know, it's not a democracy. If we haven't got a place where we can, like, you know, the only thing you're not allowed to speak against is the Queen here, the Queen or the royal family. That's the only law of Speaker's Corner. You're not allowed to speak against the Crown.
Well, I need to research that.
Yeah, research it.
So you learn everything, something new that we need to research.
Yeah,
as well.
research it. Of course, I'm not saying I have the answers. I often get pulled up on, like, you know, I don't shy away from the bollocks that I might say sometimes, and I'm never scared to be corrected. So if I say anything that's wrong, correct me, and I'll accept that. You know, I'll do my own research as well, just as you will do. As you know, it's all about fair research.
So you identified Speaker's Corner is going to be helpful for you.
Yeah, definitely, it is helpful for me.
And so, can you tell me a bit about your journey as since you started coming here to who you are today?
Yeah. So
how it's helped you, or
not
helped you, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So when I first started to come to Speaker's Corner, I was living in a warehouse community full of artists and musicians.
Wow.
And there was a lot of tribe mentality there, and a lot of, I'd say, I don't want to put it down, but it was a lot of drugs and things like that wasn't really helpful for the community. And I just think, since coming here, I've just, as I said, defined my beliefs and realised that isn't for me, and that's what made me wanting to become a cognitive hypnotherapist and help people get clean, become the best version of themselves.
So how has Speaker's Corner helped you at your time here?
Um,
Do you
it's
think it's helped you with debate,
yeah,
strength?
it's helped me with my use of language.
Wow.
Yeah, it's helped me with my use of language. Also learning about the ways in which people will get you to believe in things, because there's a method behind everything, and these people are following Collier patterns, which is making you having certain steps to make something more plausible, which might actually seem impossible in our physical realm, So you follow up on that, and you're like, okay. So it's really helped me pick up on people's, let's say, bullshit,
Yeah.
So, and
I mean, just sorry to interrupt.
yeah,
Because there are people who genuinely come here to bullshit.
Yeah.
But there are also people who don't realise they're bullshit. Now,
Yeah.
There is a distinction.
yeah,
there.
exactly, and that goes back to the whole thing of many students, but where's the teachers? So I would again say that Speaker's Corner is a great place for you to come, define your beliefs and values, and better yourself as a person, because you'll hear something that you don't agree with, and then you study that thought of why you don't agree with it, and it will make you a better person in the long run.
And you brought up a very unique and interesting point, which is about words and understanding more words.
Yeah.
Because I'm a speaker here regularly as well, and redefining our understanding of reality is profound in our being able to change it. And words should be one of the definitions of what poverty is.
Yeah.
Your lack of words should define whether you live in poverty or not how much money or lack of money you actually own. Because with words,
Yeah.
we can learn how to debate,
Of course.
and what is debate, and the nuances that transpire between human beings.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I agree with that. To add to that, I just think that we need more speakers' corners. We need a speakers' corner in every part
Of the world.
of the world.
Would you like to speculate upon why that we don't have more speakers' corners?
Yeah, because the powers that be, the politicians, the rich, they don't want us communicating with each other,
Yeah.
and they keep this one here because it's all about religion over here.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
if we're only debating about religion, it takes away the attention from the people that are actually robbing us. Like I wrote a poem, and one of my favourite lines from the poem is, "Later men plot with fatal precision to keep us locked in the fetal position."
Do you have the whole poem?
I don't have the whole poem.
Can you have that? Can you get access to that poem in the next half
Yeah,
hour?
yeah. I'll tell you what. I've got another poem that I can recite for you, which relates to this.
Shall we have? Because I was thinking of doing a poetry speakers corner poetry section. So this will be part of that as well. So you'd be the first poet.
All right.
Part of that. On my channel.
All right. Okay.
So if you're happy to go for it.
Yep.
Then go for
All right.
it.
Let me have a little bit of water first.
You do your water.
Yeah.
Right, ladies and gentlemen. First on my channel to get poetry. I think one of the greatest heights of human being is to create and understand the reality around us. And poetry is one of those great tools, as along with music and being an author as well. But poetry is really beautiful because it's immediate and spontaneous, and can be performed spontaneously, like we're about to get now. So this is why poetry is so brilliant and a demonstration of a well-rounded human being, I believe.
Thank you. So this is called Rusted. All us people in this machine, we've been made to keep it sparkling clean, without a bruise, in a clear pristine, a set routine. The external hygienity that glistens away our minds in a fray. Your true thoughts, they'll stay at bay. The internal spoil, this gushed oil, mixed in with society's soil, now trying to seep into our DNA coils. Those rusty, dusty cogs, they perspirate a filthy, filthy fog. I can't comprehend the shock, how the masses don't block. We throw little shiny rocks, baby in a cot. Yes, us, definitely, that's exactly what. Hang on, sorry. That's exactly what. living in a mirage past to get money so you can get yourself a real nice hun bunny. Then you get all humbuggy when the green honey runs out. Because that big pig snout, it's oh so greedy. It needs feeding, so to shout, get its slaves to clout. Drown your sorrows in a cheap man-made brown stout, never to think you'd be that down and out. Living on your knees with those fleas in those pitch black alleys. Yes, we abide to this outdated ride, but for how long will we confide in this disgusting sty where you're made mad to buy? And that's it.
Wow. You hear that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant. We got what an artist is it, we've been able to present to you on Who is Speaker's Corner. And I hope that you come to Speaker's Corner and also come here, find me, and to recite poetry as well.
And share. Just share your thoughts, share your beliefs, you know? That's what it's about. We need more. We need less religious people here. We need people here that are actually acting for change. You know?
You can have more religious people here. It's just that let's transcend a bit more into...
Let's transcend your religious beliefs to make this world a better place.
Yes. By examining it, deconstructing it, and everything you've been articulating so far is of great power and great beauty, contributing to a strong community.
Yeah. It's John F. Kennedy said, anyone can change, so everyone should do it. And that resonates with me so much. You know, if we was all to make that fucking change, we would make this much nicer place to live.
Yeah, change is just simply being able to learn how to have a debate, or just simply picking up a pen and writing a beautiful poem.
It goes to that thing of protection versus growth. At the moment, people here in Speaker's Corner, they're protecting their beliefs and values. They're fortifying them. Whereas if we was to actually focus on growth and extend your beliefs and values to your fellow man, we would make this heaven on earth.
Heaven on earth. A gift and a reality which we all can have.
Yeah, it's within reach. You just have to do something. Just anything. Anything more than nothing is something.
Exactly. And each pebble can transform into an avalanche of brilliance and beauty. Compassion, understanding, debate, and many other skills that we can learn all can happen here at Speaker's Corner.
Yeah.
And this great noble man in front of us is a wonderful demonstration of what I've just articulated, and your belief systems here as well. How would like to see Speaker's Corner in the future? Because at the moment, me and my friend Khaled and some other people here are trying to have more debates aimed around topics that you're bringing up.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in being part of that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's why I come here. I want to be a part of that, like those types of debates.
That's fantastic. So, I think we're having a really good impression of who you are, what you represent. And I believe that if you come to this park, find the people I come here to interview, especially this wonderful gentleman, he will be of great enlightenment to you.
And I will welcome you with open arms. You know?
There you go.
You know? Just as I hope you do with me.
And yes, because you may not agree. Can you just give some advice on how to conduct a debate? This is a question that I ask everyone.
How to conduct a debate is you always let the other person finish speaking, and then you speak. It's simple as that. As soon as you start talking over each other, you're lost. And as soon as you raise your voice, you've lost the debate. You know, that is one thing I was brought up on. As soon as you lose your debate, as soon as you raise your voice, you've lost. So hold your frame. People might annoy you, but just realize that they're on their journey just as you are on yours.
Yeah, so we are on this journey together. I think you've given a lot to the audience here, and I hope the audience give a lot back, because debate is beautiful, and growing as a human being is, I believe, a human right.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of discussions here of how we can achieve this heaven on earth that you have mused upon just now. And it's not utopian.
No,
not a utopian.
It's not, because we all be the same. Everyone have their separate religions and separate beliefs, but it's just about making this a good place to live for everyone, no matter what your beliefs are. You know, simple as that.
Right. I was just going to say, can you leave us with one positive thought? Because because you're so full of these great ideas, I think this whole interview has been a positive and rewarding endeavour between us two here.
Yeah,
So
no, I've really enjoyed it.
it's been a fantastic experience, and this is what Speakers Con about. It's always surprising, and yes, you may not agree with us here, but having these discussions is the very quintessential of life and the very gift that we can give each other.
Exactly.
We don't always have to agree, but descending into this shouting match that you have just described is definitely the worst of humanity and not the best of humanity.
Yeah.
And it's easy to be seduced by becoming just hate or anger. It's a terrible.
Fear-mongering.
Would you describe hate as an addiction, by the way?
Yes, it is. I would definitely. I think because it's a chemical release in your brain, and you can get addicted to that. You know, get addicted to that chemical release. People are addicted to dopamine. People are addicted to serotonin. You know, it's just we are a society of addicts. You know, we're all addicted to something. Whether it might be a bicky when you're watching Coronation Street. You know, it might be going down the pub and having a pint with your mates. You know, we're all addicted to something. You might be, you know, addicted to cuddling. It's what is healthy.
I like that one.
Yeah. You know, so it's just if this thing is not serving you, then you don't need it in your life anymore. So it's all about getting rid of those things that aren't serving you. You know, and I'd say that hate mongering, fear mongering, they're not serving you. So why get rid of them?
Yeah, and to add to that, your addictions are always being exploited by somebody else. So your addictions to hate are being exploited by your leader, so she can progress with their world of war, genocide, and horror. I believe in democracy. What would you like to give a quick view on democracy? Then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, I believe that we should have democracy. I just think that our society right now is making a poor attempt at it.
Yes.
You know, so I like my girlfriend. She's Chinese, and I say that we was indoctrinated to have the illusion of freedom, and her society is indoctrinated to have the illusion of security. You know, so it's like, what is this freedom that we have? It's not freedom, you know. So it's all about just learning from each other, learning from your fellow man, from your fellow sisters. How can we make this a better place to live for everyone? Because it's not hard.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know?
And as we were saying earlier,
it's not hard, but it is clever.
As we were saying earlier, one of the symptoms that you don't actually live in a democracy is there is no speaker's corner in your country or society or community.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a dictatorship, not of a democracy.
Yeah.
Can I just say how absolutely fantastically beautiful and wonderful a human being that you are?
Thanks, Dust.
And how incredible a gift you are, not only to Speaker's Corner, but to the world as a whole. Would you like to come on to say a quick hello and just introduce yourself?
That's my girlfriend.
How long have you known each other?
Hi, we've been knowing each other for almost a year.
Oh, that's beautiful. And is he as amazing as he coming across? Oh, there you go. And on this beautiful image of how Speaker's Corner is such a multicultural gift to the universe, I'm going to say thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Remember, your dreams are real, so please dream for the best.
And dream big.
I am the dust, and I am now settled. Thank you
go.
very much.
Hey.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
I mean, that was incredible.